What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. Go ahead and check them out as usual, linked in the description to this video. So for today, we do have a plains risk. A risk is a risk. It's a low-end one, but we're going to talk about where and why. And then that same system could turn into something a little bit bigger tomorrow. We do have a lot of storms on the table, as well as all risks, a very wide coverage area. So we're going to go into where's the hail or hail trace. So we're going to tell you guys all about that, as well as what other risks to expect, where, when, all that good stuff. So let's just jump right into it. Right now, it's cloudy across most of the plains, right across Oklahoma and Texas. Lots of cloud cover and a couple of scattered showers here and there, but it's warming up pretty quickly. Same with the northern plains. It's warming up very quickly into this afternoon, even though there's that cloud cover out ahead. And with that system moving through, we are expecting to see some storms popping up later this afternoon and evening. There's that heat, 64 degrees in Dallas, 67 in Kansas City, still hovering just above freezing in Minneapolis, but that warm is making its way up into that area and should continue up that way towards the next few hours. So potential for storm development due to all of that. As for our setup, the jet stream is making its way through with this trough, and as it pushes out through the east, there could be a couple storms into today. However, tomorrow, that's when things get a little bit more intense. You can already see that trough deepening when you start to get those deeper blues. That just means that trough is getting more intense as it works its way through with the cold front, with the dry line through the Mississippi Valley and the Ohio Valley, the southeast. Expecting to see some widespread storm coverage from that system as it continues to drive through the Ohio Valley into Saturday, where we'll have another risk for you guys out east. So a few days that could be pretty busy, but today's setup is looking a little bit different. It's because we got this cap that's in place right now. So this blue is just what we call a cap. It's basically just a layer of air above the surface that's keeping storms from developing. And that's in place here through western Oklahoma and west Texas as well by around 5 p.m. So I'm thinking that these storms are not going to be able to break through that today, and the rest are going to stay pretty elevated as they move out to the east. Now, as that moves off east into tomorrow morning, we're going to see that cap starting to erode. We're going to see it start warming up, and that's going to help to basically just dissolve that cap in the northern or in the upper parts of the atmosphere. So that'll help storm development through the Mississippi Valley into tomorrow. But for today, we're looking very scattered and pretty minimal for our hail chance through that area. So that's the southern plains, and we also got some storms developing through the northern plains as well. Those are looking a little better. They're towards the northern part of that system. Don't have a graphic here in for it, I guess, but we are going to see some hail chances with some scattered cells moving up to the northeast through the region. So Sioux Falls, you guys could have a risk of hail, as well as in the southern plains, Oklahoma City, Fort Smith, Springfield. Going to be very low end for you guys, maybe some quarters here or there. And then up north, it's looking a little bit better. Probably going to see a few different swaths of quarters to half dollars with those storms that pass through into today. Now for tomorrow, we're going to have some cold fronts, or a cold front, moving through the upper part of the Mississippi Valley, and it's going to drive a dry line all the way through the southern part of the southern plains. And so this is the same system from today, but again, that cap has broken down now. We've had that warm air moving up into the risk area, and so while that cold front drives through, it's going to develop storms out ahead of it. And I mean, it's packing a punch. You got those warm oranges meeting those deep blues, and that means that there's a ton of instability with that tracking through. There's the dry line. Again, when you see two air masses or two areas that have super different values in what they're seeing in the atmosphere, that just means they're going to have collision, and that causes a lot of storms to develop. So that's what we have into tomorrow afternoon with this dry line through the central plains. Got that cool dry air meeting that warm humid air, driving off to the east through the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. And so that's going to, again, help our storms develop. So one last thing, and then we'll take a look at the future radar. Here's our supercell parameter, just the likelihood to see supercells with these storms. north and south, so up towards the center of that low pressure system and down south where we have better shear, we have a or rotation in the atmosphere. We have a better chance to be seeing some supercells with these storms tracking through Memphis, tracking through parts of the Ohio Valley by 5 Central. And then we're finally going to see things start to taper off a little bit by the late evening hours into Friday through Saturday morning. But bottom line, guys, it's going to be a loud 24 hours specifically tomorrow. So here's what that looks like on our future radar, all right? So got those storms that are going to be scattered through the area for the first part of the day. By 3 p.m., we see a little round of it going through the Iowa and Wisconsin border. But then 2 hours later, by 5, boom, there you go. You can see the back end of that low spinning away through the northern plains, and then the front end of it developing all these storms all the way from really just south of Minneapolis, like the La Crosse area, down to St. Louis, is going to see isolated cells starting out. If you guys have been with us for a while, you know isolated cells mean hail and tornado risk off the bat. So that's what we have here with those storms, the potential to see some large hail where we have a lot of instability, and again, you're right at the center of that low. That's going to continue to move off towards the Chicagoland area and making its way through central Illinois and Indiana before finally sweeping through the Ohio Valley and making its way into the northeast by Saturday morning. Again, losing some steam as it tracks further east. But those initial storms have a potential to produce, again, large hail, some tornadoes, and then once things band out, got some wind in the risk as well. Then down south, it looks very different. So we got a cluster of storms forming initially near the Little Rock area. Those do have the potential to produce some rotation, produce some large hail as well. Tracking off to the east, we see it get a lot angrier as it moves towards the Ohio Valley area into the Memphis city line here by around 7 p.m. We've got a line of multiple possible supercells making its way all the way down into Texas. And so with that, unfortunately, tornadoes are in the risk for you guys for Memphis, for Nashville with that line as it continues to push out through the southeast and eventually fizzling out once it gets more towards the Appalachian area. So we'll see what we get into Friday. Forecast max hail size for right now. I would not be surprised tomorrow if we see some baseballs. We just still don't have that on this graphic. But yeah, large hail is possible. Purple swaths would not be out of the question into tomorrow, specifically for the northern part of the risks. So here's the risks, speaking of. So right now, I'm going to leave it in the red. I'm going to see how things shape up for tomorrow, but this is the likeliest area that will see hail into tomorrow's system. And then obviously we got the sizes on there for you as well. So from La Crosse down to St. Louis, I think you got a pretty solid chance to see hail with those initial isolated cells that form and then track off to the east. So Chicago, you've got a chance as well. Des Moines, specifically Davenport as well, have the best chance to see large hail with the initial development of those storms. It's going to be a quick turnaround as they're moving fast pretty quick, or they're moving east pretty fast, but got a large hail chance in there as well. Then, you know, Kansas City, Springfield, you guys are on the far western side of that risk, so low end chance for you, but Little Rock, Shreveport, Dallas, I'm going to leave Fort Worth out of it, but Dallas, you guys have also got a risk of hail. It just depends on how far west that line can push. Right now, it's looking like it's mostly hitting East Texas, but again, we'll see how far west it can develop. And then, you know, Shreveport, Little Rock, Memphis, low end chance for you guys as well. Now for wind, it's going to be pretty different here. We've got a couple of areas that could potentially see some high winds. So we're going to start out with the south. If you guys are in Little Rock to all the way to Nashville, you got a moderate chance of seeing some good winds with that line of storms that passes through. Again, Dallas and Shreveport, you're on the end of it, so we'll see what you can get. And then up into St. Louis to La Crosse, kind of the same reasoning. You're right near the bulk of the action, the center of that low. That's where we could potentially see some really powerful storms. So that whole area's got at least a moderate chance, high if you guys are between Des Moines and Chicago, to see some high winds with that band driving through. Then for tornadoes, again, it's going to be those same two areas that are kind of our focus for where we could see wind and tornadoes, either where you got that line developing or right up near the center of this system. That's where you could potentially see some rotation, get us potential tornadoes dropping. So Little Rock, Memphis, you guys specifically pay attention to your forecast into tomorrow. It looks like these could be spinning away as they're moving through that area, and then into Nashville as well. Then up towards Des Moines, Davenport again, just south of La Crosse where we're getting those isolated cells. That's your best chance to see some tornadoes up in the northern part of our swath. And then if you guys are anywhere on this map, again, tomorrow's the day to turn on those weather alerts, be paying attention. It's going to be busy, specifically in the Mississippi Valley and then into the Ohio Valley in the overnight hours. So we'll be here to tell you guys about it, and we'll be probably on TikTok as well, so give us a follow on TikTok, as well as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. Smash that subscribe button everywhere else. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, scan that QR code up above me to get a demo of our products or to sign up. Again, we map all these storms live, so if you guys want any part of that, scan that QR code. Then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll update you same time tomorrow here at noon. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.